1. Okay, we are live. All right, and just where that we are going to go. Okay. There we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another morning for Phoenix Business Exchange on the South End. We are here to be able to meet each other, and we do this every week. Now, next week, we have our Family Day in Canada, which means that it's supposed to be designated to be with your spouse, your family, your in-laws, your outlaws, and wherever it is that we need to spend time with our members of our family. So there's no meeting for next week. But the meeting the following week, we're going to be meeting at the River Lounge in off Prince of Wales, all right, at this time. And so we'll bring to you the Zoom. So those that would like to join us there, we would love to have you. If you have a business and you'd like to tell us a little bit about what you do and the way you change lives, we'd love to hear it. All right. So give us more information. You can just simply email us at info@pbex.ca, pbex.ca, and we're going to take a little bit of a turn here to see this is our website. Phoenix has a wonderful site, and it is loaded with information and things for our members. Member of the week is Brenda Lee. She's our Earth Angel. She takes care of some of the homeless that are in her area, and she does an amazing job. If you look at her house, 3/4 of the house is for donations, and the garages and things like that she uses to be able to collect all kinds of things, clothes and some food, and on it goes for the homeless. So thank you, Brenda, for doing that. We really love you for that. And 5 chapters that we have throughout the city and throughout the area of the week. Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday are our morning weekends or our morning meetings. And Thursday we have a midday, which is at 1 o'clock. For those people that have a hard time meeting in the morning, whether they have meetings or they're driving someone to school or to work and they can't do it in the morning, so this is a nice option to have it in the afternoon. And Penny Lee heads that up, so you come on in and do that. It's the same Zoom number, and the red button's there. It has the Zoom link already in it. So you click that at just before 1. We'd love to see you. If you have a business, you need to be able to let other people know, okay? We also have an after-hours group that we do once a month, and our next one is on February the 24th, okay? So that's more of a mastermind group. We talk about your goals. We talk about how we can help in some way. So we have a yearly goal, and then we meet every single month to find out how close are you, what do you need, what are you missing, has some of the goals changed, and we can help out with that. If you need advice, resources, or some other people, we can sort of point you in the right direction. All right. Those of our upcoming members, we have a few member events happening. And here's a list of them. All right. We got the sound bath coming up on the 25th. I got my meditation every Friday at 1:30. This no exception. We're going to be talking about ego loops, and we're gonna define what those are. But it's repetitive things that keep you at bay, and it's hard to grow when you've got that. So we're going to talk about that on Friday. Penny Lee has her dance class. There's her link, and she has a every this is Friday the 13th. That sometimes happens, and Penny Lee loves that because it's her lucky day. So that's for tomorrow night. If you want to come in person, bring food. Okay. Jacqueline speaks to connect, to collaborate in the Ottawa Valley gathering there. And there's a boat show happening next week that Susan McGarry is in. And if you wanted to, drop by to say hello, there's her booth number. So we always try to make things happen there. As far as our events in different places, we have, if you want to come to an area where we could find out what's going on, everything is here. This is just a quick summary of the year, and we have the boat show on this one too. And there's so many other throughout the whole year. We find out there's an event, we put it on there, so it's a nice guide if you're planning an event or something, and you're inviting, let's say, a number of women to come to an event, but that's the same weekend as the women's show. May not be the best timing. So this way you can check the calendar to see if there's something going on that's going to conflict with whatever event you want to go to, okay? And all the meetings that we have throughout the year, they're all marked here. So if you're wondering if there's a meeting or something, just go to the calendar and it's usually there, okay? And just as a side note, we also put the full moon in it, the lunar, because for those things that you are doing regarding, let's say, signing a new contract, bringing in a partner, you want to bring it in as close to a full moon as possible. If you're signing anything, it's just an energy thing where you want to get as much light in whatever you're doing as possible. New moons mean no light, so there's a lesser chance that whatever event you have may have impact. If that's the day that it's on, then we could talk and we could give you some tips on how to be able to get through that, okay? And there you go. That's the basics of it. And we let's see how our sales are doing as far as that goes. We have $3,100 or so dollars in referrals so far. It's a little bit of a slow start, but we're getting momentum as we go. We have 25 referrals so far since the 9th, since last month. And we're just waiting for Eric to sell another house. Okay, guys, so we can go over that $5 million that we've been shooting for. All right, and this is what it's all about. All right, so the Canada Food Company is our charity of this year. So we're really honored to be able to help them and help the community in that way for those people that are having a hard time and need a little bit of help with their families and so on. All right. We are celebrating our 10th year. 2016 was when we launched Phoenix. And boy, there's been so many changes since then. Those that got in almost in the beginning, it's been quite a shift for sure. We've been through so much, and we're still here. We're still doing business and so on, and so it's all good. And a little words of wisdom, and over to Eric. What do you have for us, buddy?
All right. Good morning, everybody. So a little bit of Tony Robbins for you. Everybody knows I love him. So I was listening to him at Unleash the Power within 2022. So one of the first things that he said on day one was that knowledge is not power, execution is power. So we really got to remember that. Everybody gets disillusioned. Everybody thinks that, oh, if I was just motivated, then I would be able to get started, and then I would be. It's all a crock. That it was not going to work for you. If it does, fantastic. You're one of the few. So what he's trying to say is execution is power. You need to execute. And when we talk about execution in the world that we're in today in social media and everything else, everybody's like, oh my God, you got to execute for 1 million viewers and you got to have 1 million clients, and if you're not, you're a total failure. That's not the case. So I'm going to share a little quick example. I use my Fitness Pal, which is a fitness a fitness tracker, but a nutrition tracker. And so what I really find cool is I never used it for a year this way, but I put in what I have for breakfast, what I have for lunch, morning snack, afternoon snack, dinner, and night snack. No matter what it is, whether I cheated like crazy that day on my food or whether I didn't. But what I love about it is that there's a button that says complete my diary for the day. So you click it and then it says to you, based on what you ate today, in 5 weeks, this is what your weight is going to be. So it tracks your calories. You can get it to track your exercise calories so that you plus and minus your calories for the day, whether you're a walker, a weight person, or whatever. But it struck me all of a sudden. It was like, okay, so at the end of the day, I get a fortune to tell me what my weight will be like in 5 weeks, only based on what I did today. And in 5 weeks, think of how many days that is. That's a ton of days between now and, but all it's tracking is what did I do today. So when we talk about execution, we don't have to look at the 5 weeks of, hey, what am I going to look like in 5 weeks? What's my weight going to be like? What's my health going to be like in 5 weeks if I do something every single day? All I need to do is focus on one thing, and that one thing was done today. So that's not motivation. That's not like this big grand master plan whatsoever. All it is what can I do today? And I heard Robert Herjavec, if you don't know him, he's a Canadian billionaire, the Herjavec Group. He did internet security software. And he said the other day, which was really cool, and I'll end with this, is that he said, I can buy any car I want. And he does own tons of high-end Ferraris, exclusive Ferraris, and all this kind of stuff, and beautiful homes and whatever. But he said, you know what? What motivates me the most is not what car I can buy today, not what jet I can buy today. What motivates me the most today when I wake up is I think, how can I reach my full potential today? What can I do today to reach my full potential? And that can be anything. That can be, I am going to reach out to a really close friend of mine that I haven't spoken to in a long time, and my full potential is giving them my full love today, my full time today, my full ear today to listen to them and what's going on in their lives. My full potential today is, and for me as an example, being a realtor, it's who can I reach out today to let them know that I sincerely care about them and I sincerely care about their family and the sale of their home. How can I do that? Because that's my potential. My potential is not selling that home and putting money in my bank account, because it doesn't push me. It's not what I live for. What I live for is being helpful to others. So I got to look at it as what's my momentum? What is that I'm really truly looking for? It's that I can help somebody. So that's it. There's your education for the day. Good morning, everybody.
Eric, that's awesome. That's what a great reminder every day. I can't improve on that. That's amazing. Thank you, sir. Okay, now we're going to go to our introductions and to let people know what kind of thing happens at this time of year in February. If you want to remind people of what type of products or services that you can incorporate in it, if you want to change up your infomercial a little bit. And we're going to give you practice. If somebody in an elevator says, what do you do? And you only have a minute to let them know, we're going to give you practice. We're going to bring in the timer. And so no disrespect intended. It just we're trying to always get a little better, like Eric says. Okay, so let's start with Q. Okay, Q. Anytime you're ready. Okay.
Thank you, Tony. Good morning, everyone. My name is Q. I'm the intern lady of the group. And do you know that if you have a partner in business, life insurance can be extremely helpful because it helps funds a buy-sell agreement if a partner passes away. It protects the deceased partner families, and it maintains business stability. Life insurance doesn't just help in a partnership. It's often one of the smartest risk management tools available. If you know anyone who want to know more about how to use life insurance in a partnership agreement, feel free to give me a call and we can have a conversation. Q from World Financial Group, providing you with financial peace of mind when you need it most. Thank you.
Wow, you're only on the 8th floor. That's awesome, Q. Thank you. And how's your any BAMs or any activity?
The business with you, Tony.
Oh, okay,
Thank you for
that's
the
right.
insight.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
And that's it for me.
Perfect. Okay, and over to Eric.
All right. Good morning. It's funny. Usually I'm like one of the last ones, and I actually just put my mouse on the audio because I said, "Oh, I bet you I'll be soon." So weird how that happens. We got those little thoughts. So I'm Eric Perrin. I'm your real estate advisor with England Wilkers Ottawa. I just changed my website. Super proud of it. Changed over to Realty Ninjas, which is a new website platform. What it's going to allow me to do is to, I think, in a much better way, market my clients' properties. It's going to allow people to land at that page when they're looking for homes, when they're doing their SEO search. And not only do I have a featured properties where each property is listed that I've currently got listed, but it's actually, when you click on it, it's going to show you a really beautiful page. It's going to show you the walk score. It's going to show you restaurants and stores and whatever else that's close by, which is obviously a big thing. The big three words with real estate is location, location, location. So this is going to be, I think, fantastic for listing sellers to know that their property is even better being marketed than it was before. And for buyers, it's going to give them a really good resource. Super easy to click through and to connect with me. So I'm Eric Perrin, your real estate advisor with England Brokers Ottawa.
Ding! The door just opened. Nice going, Eric. That's awesome. Okay, any activity? Any BAMs or
activity with Steve, but nothing Brennickmeyer, but
okay.
Not from our group right now.
Okay, cool. And over to Jacqueline.
Ruby, good morning, everyone. I have to tell you, yesterday, I had this opportunity to speak to a number of people who I may or may not have known. I did take a big, beautiful breath. I did lift my shoulders and I took them back and I released them down. I was telling a good friend of mine that I was speaking in this space in this space, and she said, "Well, can I come with you?" Well, of course you can. Unexpectedly, there were 12 people who were there. There were 12 people I didn't know who were there to hear me talk about a HELOC, to talk about yoga, to talk about the nervous system. Thank you, Kat, for helping me get that information out. The person who put that together, Helen, I met because of Bernie. She was very pleased about the turnout. And then people I hadn't spoken to for 10 years, we did a workshop together, said I needed to come and see you. Amazing. So she found out that when she was working with me, she was working with someone who talked about mortgages. And when you're looking for strategies for your mortgage money, man, you got to contact your mortgage honey. Thank you, Kat. It was amazing what we did.
Thanks a lot, Jacqueline. Any BAMs or referrals? I think
I
you met with me. You met with me.
Met with you. And again, thank you, Bernie. That was just amazing. Eastside Tradewinds, I much appreciated that. And so did Helen. And I have a BAM next week all set up. And that's what I have right now.
Okay. And over to Susan Ebbs.
Good morning, one and all. Don't you love the weather? Bright and sunny. No more snow. No more freezing. My car went on the blink. I'm going to have to talk to you, Sam. My husband's car went on the blink. My daughter's car went on the blink. And my sister's in Winnipeg went on the blink. All because of the cold. Anyways, I'm using up my time. I'm Susan Ebbs from Melaleuca.com. And we help you to save money by shopping for fantastic non-toxic cleaning products. These products are special in that they are concentrated, a little goes a long way, and they're chemical free. One product I'd like to emphasize this morning is Revive. This is a room cleaner air spray, but again, no chemicals. And remember I said it was concentrated? Look at this. You can just replace the bottom part. There's 3 different scents. The one I like the best is, what is it called here? Vanilla. And there's a couple other flavors. And I'm out of time. So if you're wanting to save money and save the environment, Susan Ebbs, Total Renewal. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Susan. Awesome.
Ongoing business with Q and Penny Lee. No BAPs.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. That's awesome. So who would prefer this or this? This is a lot warmer. Okay, and over to Kat.
Sorry, I wouldn't unmute there. So hi, everybody. So what I'm looking to do today is speak to anybody who is not connecting with their potential customers. And you might all say, oh, we're doing emails or we're doing social media, got a website, talking to people, whatever it is. But the question is, are you actually talking to the right people in the right place in a right way and actually explaining who you are, what you do, and why it's of benefit to your customer? If you're not, or somebody you know is not, there's a conversation required, because everybody does such amazing work. Everybody wants to help everybody, but you can't help anybody if nobody knows that you're the best kept secret. So I'd love to chat to anybody I can support with that. In terms of bans, I've spoken to so many people, Tony, I would be quicker to just send you a list.
Okay. That's so true, Kat. Thank you for everything you do, man. You're amazing. Okay, I think we're going to go back to Canada because right now we got -10, which is not bad. I wore a little sweat jacket. When it gets -15, I bring up the zipper a little higher. That's what we're used to. And Bernie, over to you. What's the snow like in your area?
Oh, I think likely the same as yours. We're only probably a couple kilometers apart.
Yep.
So, what do I do? Well, in the background should kind of tell you part of it. It's podcasting. Part of it is soft introductions. Sometimes is providing the right environments. Jacqueline, I'm really glad that worked out well. Sorry I missed it last night. It would have been at 13, a baker's dozen there almost. Stuff happens. Sorry. Connections. It's like, for example, I was talking with someone yesterday about being on a podcast, and in the whole conversation, and Kat doesn't know this yet, but there'll be getting an introduction between her and this lady out in California, and she's trying to get her business going, and she wants to focus on what she does best and leave the other things to other people. So, and social media. So that'll be coming around the mountain. Carl did a couple of referrals this week also, so it goes really well. And so it's an ecosystem. In fact, I interviewed a guy yesterday. He just did an introduction to me for me to another person. So I did a podcast, and he introduced me to somebody who I already did a podcast with. He wouldn't have known, but it's good, and it's about energy. And he's in Israel, and the other guy's in North Carolina. Who knew? Anyhow, that's how things thread around, and it's all about being interconnected. And I'm going to stop.
Okay, and I know you got a boatload of referrals and BAMs and stuff.
I already mentioned them.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. And hi, everybody. I'm Tony Jennis from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group, medium, clairvoyant, and I use those skills to be able to help businesses navigate through wherever they're going. One of the things that I've seen actually twice this week, and there's going to be another one I'm feeling, that people don't celebrate. And I think I had an education on this just recently. They only celebrate after a long struggle and a long suffering of whatever that they're going through, and usually it's a long term, so it's like a year, 2 years. It's kind of a celebration. And why I bring this up, because when you celebrate the little things in your life, you start being more grateful in where things are. And what that does is it changes your energy so you can start attracting more people that you can be grateful for. So a little tip on that, but it's all about that. Tony Jennis from Higher Self, we are here to raise your spirits in whatever way we can. And yeah, this is what I prefer right there. On the beach, looking at the waves, just waiting for Raul to bring me my drink with the umbrella in it, And so we're going to be blessed with Sam, that he has some great tips, and I think he's going to show some pictures of where he was over the last month. So, Sam, I'll let you take it from here, okay, bud? It's all yours.
Thanks, Tony. Good morning, everyone. Sam Sturz, ConnectedCars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Yes, I was away all last month in January, headed to Down Under, as they like to term Australia. But first, I want to ask, let's see, I know, Eric, you used to live in Australia, am I correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
I was
Okay.
in Sydney.
Sydney. Okay. Anybody else traveled to Australia or been there before? Well, there you go. Okay, then Eric might be bored, but maybe when's the last time you were in Australia, Eric?
Honestly, I think it was 1984. A
Well, there you
lot
go.
has changed. I'm
Yeah,
an old guy,
yeah.
man.
Some things have some things have changed, I'm sure. And I'm going to talk about, well, I was there with my wife and our daughter, and certainly the ladies love to shop, and I got bored with doing that, so I was following them around way too much. But I like cars, as you definitely know. So I spent a lot of time looking at the cars in the area, and I'm going to pass along the things I discovered in that observation and the vehicle that we were driving. So I'm going to talk about, first of all, let's talk about some cliches from down under. Everybody kind of knows the word good day. That's a common greeting in Australia. But they also say the word mate. But one thing we noticed a lot was the words no worries. So if you buy something or you bump into somebody and you say, excuse me, you'll hear the word no worries constantly. Again, for you get change in a, you buy something in a store, no worries. You know, thanks very much, no worries. So there's a cliche that we heard, I think, way too much, but but is a common Australian saying. Okay, let's get on to the automobiles I noticed. Let's Tony, can you show the first picture? There we go. That's well, one thing I noticed in Australia was that they have vehicles that we don't have in Canada, and this was the first one. It just looks like a regular pickup truck. I guess a smaller version of what many we have here, but you know they call it a mid-sized pickup truck. But this one is made by Volkswagen. I've never seen a Volkswagen pickup truck in Canada, nor have I seen it in the United States. But this was produced by Volkswagen. Saw this right on the, I think it was Collins Street, or yes, downtown Melbourne, where we were. And in the background there, you can see their electric trolleys that they have. And you can get them in the Central Business District, and you can get the trolley there for free. You can travel around. And one thing I was going to mention there, and because Kat mentioned, was diesel. Many vehicles in Australia are diesel driven. Their engines are diesel. And there's a good reason why we don't have so many in Canada. And I talked to Kat about that earlier. Diesel engines don't start very well in the cold. And this time of year is very difficult for diesel engines to start. You know, probably if you know anybody in the trucking business, they often leave their engines running when it's really cold at night because of that problem. So Australia is definitely warmer than where we live in Canada. And many of the vehicles run diesel because diesel engines get better gas mileage than regular, say, gasoline engines. But on the bad side, down there when I was there, diesel's costing you pretty much close to $2 a liter. So it's basically 20% more than their unleaded costs. And their unleaded gas is around $1.60, which is certainly higher than ours. But it kind of loses its momentum as far as I'm concerned if you're paying an extra 20% to buy your diesel engine or diesel gasoline. But as I say, diesel was very popular. You could when I pull into the vehicle I was driving was diesel, had diesel engine, and when I pulled in to get fuel, diesel pumps were right there, close to the unleaded premium gasoline. And unlike here, if you're looking for premium, it can be tough to find actually. Then it can be a separate pump and located in a different location at a gas station. So diesel engines are popular in Australia because the climate is better for them. They don't get the really cold temperatures that we do. Anyway, let's move to the second picture.
So is it that's a short box too, eh? It's a very small box there in the back of that pickup.
That is correct. And I was going to mention that, Tony. Thank you for picking up on that. Um, Full-size pickup trucks, I saw three in the whole month that I was there. Most pickup trucks in Canada, you'll see is full size. You don't see too many short box, but there, that is the most common pickup truck, is a short box pickup truck. They
Yeah.
don't, very few full-size pickup trucks.
Okay.
Okay, this is an interesting phenomena in Australia that I noticed. This is a vehicle that well, we used to have in Canada. This, if everyone remembers, the El Camino or the
El Camino.
Ranchero,
Yeah.
which had a car front end and then a box at the back. So that was a unique vehicle in North America that's no longer around, at least that I know of. But this is what they call in Australia a Commodore. It's made by General Motors. The company down there is called Holden. So if you know anything about that Holden brand, GM, I guess, bought them out many, many years ago. You will find vehicles down there with that name on it, but they're made or they're owned by General Motors. And this vehicle here has been converted to what they call a, hold on, I got to remember my terms here, a tradie. The Australians call this a tradie because if you look in the picture there, and I don't know if you can get it bigger there, Tony, if you can, the back end has been modified to this metal um, carriage, I guess you would call it. It's very common down there with pickup trucks to convert a pickup truck to have this metal back on it. And the reason why they do that, for whatever, no, I just want to see if you can make it bigger. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to see. Yeah, my different ways isn't making
Okay.
it bigger. Yes,
Anyway,
not working.
you'll see even pickup trucks with this conversion on it. And the reason why they do that is because, a box, regular pickup truck is, you have to go inside it, deep inside it, and the sides don't fold down. What these things do is the sides of that metal box in the back fold down so that it becomes a flat surface to work. So this is a common practice down there to even take pickup trucks and convert them to what they call a tradie. If you don't do that, and they have a unique term for a pickup truck um, and anything that looks like a pickup truck, and they call it a ute. UT or UTE, they call it ute for a utility. And then if you put this back on it, this metal back on it, they call it a tradie. So you'll hear those terms uh, commonly down there for two versions of a what would I say, a pickup truck with or without this conversion. SUVs, they still call SUVs, but they call a pickup truck, as I mentioned there, a ute, and then a tradie if they have this metal back put on. Okay, let's go to the next picture. Okay, for those who can see very well in the picture, you'll see what is a pickup truck here with a cap on the back, but a unique feature on the front in Australia. Probably had this when Eric was down there, but this is called a rhubar. This is a term they call as a rhubar, and the reason why they call it a rhubar is because it's short for kangaroo bar, and when you're driving in the country, kangaroos come out in the early mornings and the evenings, and they often have collisions like we do with our deer, but they put this thing on the front to keep the damage to a minimum of the vehicles. I've never seen something put on the front of a vehicle in Canada to prevent accidents or damage, I should say, from a deer. Probably because deer take out the whole front end of your car. But um, it's a common practice. Not You don't see too many in the cities, but when you're in the rural areas, you'll see lots of vehicles, pickup trucks, cars, SUVs with these what they call rhubars and many different shapes and forms to prevent damage to the front of their vehicles from accidents with kangaroos. Okay, next picture. This, believe it or not, is the most common what they call a ute in Australia, and it's a North American car. It's a Ford pickup truck, but it's called a Ford Ranger. You'll see some of those certainly in Ontario. You may know someone that has one, but this is not a full-size pickup truck. This is a mid-size pickup truck. Um, and again, it's called a Ford Ranger there, and it's called a Ford Ranger here. But it's not a full-size pickup truck, and you will see lots of them. And as I mentioned earlier, excuse me, earlier, they will have a diesel engine primarily, because they seem to like diesel engines down there. Even though they have that filter that Kat found out about, you have to, it's called a DPF, diesel particulate filter, that has to be cleaned out every so often. Okay, next picture. Oh, damn, I got them out of order. Sent them, unfortunately. Anyway, this is a common pickup truck, but this is a electric one. No, no, that's all
Oh.
right. That's all right. This is produced by a company called, hold on now, BYD. This is a Chinese made pickup truck. Again, this looks big, but it's still a mid-sized pickup truck that's common down there. But it's all electric. The all electric pickup truck you'll see in Canada will be, let's see now, the Ford F-150. It's a full-size pickup truck that is fairly common, but most people I know that have one are frustrated with them because the range just is not there, especially in the wintertime. It's a big vehicle, and those things, they you might get 200 kilometers if you're lucky in the summertime on the range of a full-size F-150, what they call a Lightning, if you know the term, but that's the term for the Ford F-150 electric. Okay, next picture. Okay, yeah, this is the one I wanted after the Ford Ranger. This, I would say, probably equals to the Ford Ranger in popularity down there. This is called a Toyota Helix. I have never seen one in Canada. Again, mid-sized pickup truck, but this is the most, I would say, complementary to the Ranger, the most popular pickup trucks in Australia, the Toyota Helix. Again,
So
they'll
in,
call
in North
this
America, is it the what's it called,
Tacoma?
the Tacoma, or so something like that?
No, it is actually smaller than a Tacoma. It is like a Ford Ranger. It's a smaller pickup
Okay.
truck.
Okay.
Even though it has four doors, it's got that short box, and it's a even not as wide as a F-150 or the Tacoma. So that I saw lots of those down there, as well as the Ford Ranger. And they call that a Ute, as I mentioned, and then they changed that box on the back to that metal, like the Commodore I mentioned or saw earlier, and they call that a tradie. Okay, next picture. Okay, now we're going to get into electric vehicles down there. I saw lots of them. As I don't know if you're aware, Teslas were huge down there because, again, they get the range because the temperature is complementary. But now the Chinese have come into Australia, and the tariffs aren't high there. And these vehicles are, what's it called? I use the word cheap. That's the right word, but they're very cost effective. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. You'll see lots of these electric SUVs. Who made this one? Where did I get the picture of? That's a Cherry. That's right. Um, that's a company called Cherry out of China. I did some research. Right now, there is over 130 different electric vehicles being produced, different manufacturers of electric vehicles in China. That is a huge number. I don't know how they managed to do it, but they're expecting it to consolidate, means that there's going to be buyouts. But right now, there's over 100 different manufacturers of electric vehicles in China, and Australia is buying them. It's like I say, if you're looking at a new car in Australia, more than likely it's either a pickup truck, as I mentioned, Rangers, or if you're going to buy a sedan, you're probably buying an SUV, and it's going to be a Chinese-made SUV electric vehicle. And this is one called the Cherry. Next. Okay, I found this one very common and probably the most popular being sold down there. This is a mid-size or even compact SUV. It's called MG. And Kat maybe confirm with this. MG is an old British car that was made in the 60s. It stood for, I think, Morris Garage, I think the original term. But it's no longer a British vehicle. A Chinese company bought the name and the brand name, and it's called MG, and it's made in China. And I saw lots of these, especially people that were renting them out, tourists. They were driving these MG SUVs down there. So you'll probably see this one coming to Canada shortly. Uh, while I was there, I heard the news that we are going to drop the tariff rates on Chinese vehicles. So I don't, if you're looking for an EV in the next, say, next year, when they do come, you might want to check this one out. My understanding is it probably come in brand new at around $30,000 to $35,000, brand new, that you can purchase it. So, okay, next picture. My voice is causing great things here. Let's see, what am I looking at here? Yes, GWM. I think that's what that is. Yes, GWM. I think I looked that up, but I can't remember what the GWM stands for. It is another Chinese SUV. This is a more, say, mid-size to full-size SUV. I saw lots of those, and I think the model was called Haval or something like that. Um, it's I guess I mentioned it's a mid to full size, probably equivalent to a let's see, CX9. I think that would probably be, or CX7 size vehicle. Very popular. I saw lots of them down there, and they look quite nice. Okay, the next. Oh yes, this is definitely not a Chinese
Is that a
SUV.
Corvette?
No, this is a Lamborghini that I saw on the street. I think it's a removable roof version. I took a picture because I mean I'm a car enthusiast, and this vehicle would probably in Canada cost, well, I would say in around the $200,000 range. Um, it was just sitting on the street when we came out of one of the shopping malls with my wife and daughter. Um, it probably costs about the same down here as there, but no, I shouldn't say that. Correction. My experience is cars are more expensive in Australia than they are in Canada. I don't know about the Chinese when they get here. That probably have more to do with the tariffs than anything else. But cars, even used cars down there, and I looked up a few of those used cars down there, and the prices are higher than we pay for used cars. Maybe because they don't rust like our vehicles, but certainly higher prices on their vehicles down there when it came to used cars. And as I mentioned there, the Chinese have taken over for the when it comes to the EVs from Tesla. They are outselling Tesla down there, even though I saw lots of Teslas. But electric vehicles are popular. They have lots of what do they call dispenser stations, charging stations. They're not with the gasoline. You have to go to a different part of the service station to find them. But there are lots of charging stations there. Maybe not as much as there would be in China. I understand there's in the 100,000 range of charging stations in China now, but certainly when I did stop to look for them, I did find them. Here, you find them in weird places. If you have an EV, you'll be charging your vehicle in weird locations where the stations are. They're right with the regular service stations, but in a different location on the property. And you don't have to worry with this Lamborghini. Just make sure you get premium fuel because that thing won't run on regular. It'll knock and all kinds of great things. Um, but I saw a few of those. In fact, where our daughter, we found her apartment. There was a Lamborghini in the neighborhood there too. So um, there are some fairly wealthy people in Australia. That's it for me. Let's see here, 8:50. Anybody have any questions? Gladly try and answer them.
Hey, do you see the Hilux coming into Canada? Because I understand they're really indestructible, or are they just indestructible in the tropical zones or dry heat zones?
Well, my experience with Toyota vehicles, certainly the Tundra and let's see, the Tacoma, they're very well made. They've had some problems in the last little while with some engine issues. They've had a massive recall. But I would agree with you, Bernie, that Toyota pickup trucks are, if not the best, one of the best pickup trucks to buy. I don't know if the Helix will come here. That was a good question because the Ford Ranger is getting popular here with as I would just say a mid-size pickup truck. If it does, I would highly recommend looking at it because Ford has had some issues with their engines. Our son has an F-150, and not that he's had huge problems with it, but I am familiar with the issues with some of the Ford pickup truck engines, and not so much engine problems with the Toyotas. So certainly look for that if it does come. Honestly, I have no idea if it will.
Yep.
Any
Sam,
other questions?
Sam, can I ask a silly question?
No
So
silly questions.
it seems that both in Canada and Australia, buying utes, tradies, or your pickup trucks, as you whatever term you want to use, why is that such a big thing? I mean, we have them here, but not to the same extent that everybody else does. So what's the deal with that?
Well, I can't speak for Australia, but I do know it's kind of a status symbol right now. Certainly with young people like our son, pickup trucks are in. They off the ground. I say more rugged's the right term, but I mean because it's off the ground and it's a big vehicle, you can go over curbs and things like that. You can park them almost anywhere. Um, that is a common. It's an in thing right now for young people to buy pickup trucks, and our son is no different. Um, they do waste a lot of fuel. They're a big vehicle. Um, our son's has the 2.7 turbocharged engine. Um, I think I mentioned a little bit about turbocharged engines and how you have to take care of them. They do take extra care, but it is just a trending thing. I hope it ends because they aren't fuel efficient. Most of the time, people don't use them for work. Our son, I have to say, because he works at a moving company, he often uses it to help out when there's a move and there's something left behind, and he'll go get it. But for the most part, when you see somebody that has a pickup truck in, I'll say Ottawa or in Ontario, it's empty. It's,
Yep.
it's just being driven by one person, and maybe they have somebody sitting beside them. But most of the time, the back end, the box we call them, is completely empty. They might have their hockey equipment in there or left over from a week before, but that's it. They're not being used for commercial purchases or to move things around. It's once in a while. Unfortunately, it's popular.
Yeah, you don't want to get the box scratched, and that's not what a pickup truck is for. You're supposed to throw stuff in it.
Yeah, I have to say our son's is used fairly often because of his work that he's doing. But
Yep.
we have a neighbor 2 doors down. He has a full size, I think it's a GMC, I think Sienna or something like that, full size pickup truck. I have never, ever seen the back of that vehicle used for anything other than You know, he goes to the
Costco.
gym every once in a while. It's it's just his thing to own this big pickup truck and takes up most of his driveway.
Yeah. Yeah. That's big. Okay. Well, thanks a lot for sharing. That was a great trip. Just in the future, just a little note: if you're making a picture, put the phone sideways because then the picture will come out larger that way rather than the
Okay.
up and down. Just a thought,
All
as
right.
I
No,
know
thank you.
it. I know the biggest thing is to take a picture lengthwise and that's it. But the wide angle is a nice feature. So
Thank
good.
you, Tony.
Okay.
I will do that.
Yeah, no problem. And well, that's it, folks. We are just coming up to 9 o'clock. We're going to leave a little bit early, so thank you very much for joining us. Those that are on Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, and YouTube. If you have a business, check us out. We've been here for a long time, and we're always working so hard to make sure that you have some exposure out there. That's really what we are doing all the time. The newest thing that we're doing just before we go is I wanted to show everybody the one option that we have, and I'm trying to find the newest thing that we just did. Oh yes, here it is. We're able to take a QR and actually put it so that if people can give you a Google review. So it's just right on their phone, it goes right to and within 10 seconds, they can put you on the Google review. So if you're looking forward to that, we can make it square like traditionally, like what Sam has behind him. Or we could make it round with about over 20 colors, and we can customize it with your logo in the middle, and there's no charge. We'll even put it on a laminated thing. I have some extra laminated sheets that we can put it on plastic, so if you're outside, so it's not going to wrinkle with the paper and stuff like that. So let us know if something like that is of interest. Okay. In the meantime, have a great week. And we're not meeting next week. We'll probably send just a quick reminder to let you know that we have sort of that holiday with family and friends and stuff. And we'll be meeting in 2 weeks at the River Lounge. Okay? And Bernie, do you have a quote that you can bestow on us?
Bestowing is beginning. Here we go. You are not wrong if no one knows what you're doing. From an unknown source.
Right on. Okay. Thanks a lot, everybody. That's great.